Welcome back, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Still a little bit sick, so again, apologies if I sound weird and or make any mistakes in this video. Thank you for your understanding. All right, with that disclaimer out of the way, I want to give a quick update on a video from the other day before we get to the current news. So yeah, I made a video about how Bluesky is failing and how a lot of people on Bluesky are complaining about the engagement going down and stuff like that. And a lot of code posts. Hopefully you saw that video, only in the description if you missed it. And it looks like Asmongold then reacted to that video, and the Bluesky subreddit then went into damage control, making this official mod post saying, Asmongold made a video about Bluesky dying. We are aware and are removing posts by his fanboys. Have a nice day. Making this a pinned post on the Bluesky subreddit. People are saying it's in lockdown mode now too, with posts needing to be approved or something. So I don't know, I just thought it was hilarious, and you guys might find that to be a funny update. But now on to the actual main topic. We got to talk about English voice actors once again, because Mujin made a great video going over the VA stuff that we've been talking about. But in particular, he included some Discord messages that a VA had apparently leaked to him. This seems to be from a VA Discord, specifically some sort of SAG VA Discord, it seems. And yeah, there are some very interesting posts from these VAs there. Shows just how toxic these people are, how cliquey they are. Stuff we already knew, but just more evidence into how bad it really is. For example, these messages, which seem to be from the channel Strike Talk Official. We can see that they're especially upset at Erica, the VA for Venti. And this is especially hilarious because, as we talked about a month ago when Venti's VA Erica came out with the statements that she wants to return to work, essentially, I'm paraphrasing this of course, but wants to return to work, and was getting threatening letters from SAG. We already saw a number of the VAs from the SAG clique on their Bluesky accounts complaining about what Erica said, trying to run desperate damage control and insulting Erica, trying to make it sound like she's just a bad person and how dare she do this. Well, even in back channels, I guess they were also complaining about her. In particular, from the message that was on screen a moment ago, we can see this person, Marin, said, "It's very sad that Erica has failed to meet this moment in a way that supports the people around her." Getting 10, 100 emojis, agreeing with that take. And then this person, Kyle, presumably the VA for Mob and Mob Psycho 100, as that Kyle has been very vocally supportive towards the strike and SAG after clicking all that on his Bluesky account. So perhaps it's the same one. Anyways, says, "Single most damaging thing any one person has done to the strike efforts, in my opinion." Good job, Erica. You helped damage this freaking corrupt union. Congratulations. Obviously, these corrupt individuals will see that as a terrible thing, but to everyone else, this is a massive dub for Erica. So again, congrats. Taking this even further, putting connections together, piecing the puzzle together, so to speak. If I recall correctly, Kyle McCarley was one of those VAs who on Bluesky was really going after Erica. So if that's also him in the Discord, it really makes sense. She really upset this guy a whole lot. He was saying stuff about Erica breaking Global Rule 1, according to my recollection. And this was really interesting because it made it seem like they had specific inside information on the threatening letters that Erica got, because all she said was that she got threatening letters. But Kyle and some other VAs in the clique on Bluesky seemed like they knew exactly what the letters were, which caused people to speculate, including myself, that perhaps one of them actually ratted Erica out, reported her for breaking Global Rule 1. Now, of course, many of the VAs working on Genshin, or rather all the VAs a part of the union that work on Hoyoverse games, would be breaking Global Rule 1. And so this would be an example of how this clique of VAs really only weaponize Global Rule 1. The union may be giving some people a pass, but others, maybe certain people in the clique, go report them and then try to get the higher ups at SAG to take action against those people. Basically, if you break the mold, if you step out of line, if you do something to upset the clique in any way, shape, or form, they may then report you and really try to push the issue to get SAG to take action against you, while hypocritically, the rest of them are totally fine breaking Global Rule 1. Nothing happens to those guys. Another leaked message of note was this one, where the context above was someone asking about FICOR and working during the strike, etc., stuff like that, to which we have this response, allegedly, from a higher up in the union, someone even apparently a part of the negotiating committee. As you can see, the message reads, "It would be considered scabbing, and they would never be allowed back into the union. The union cannot prevent a company from hiring them in the future. But union developers have been asking for lists of people not to hire, quote unquote. Yeah, it sounds an awful lot like a blacklist, doesn't it? He continued, saying, "Of course, that's illegal and unrealistic, but it's a small community. We're all responsible for our actions, and flaunting a strike is more serious that I think some performers understand." He added this: "They will severely limiting their career opportunities in the future to only the kind of games that are actively looking to gather up actors' digital identities." Gotta love the phrasing there where he just tries to like make any job that's not a part of the union sound like some malicious evil scheme just to gather up actors' digital identities. Oh yeah, people would just not want to work a union contract for whatever reason, right? Like there's no valid reasons for that. It's just very telling that to this guy, who once again seems to be a higher up at the union, and to those in the clique, well, they see like any job that's not a part of the that doesn't want like a union agreement of being invalid. Like there's no valid reason for that. We're such a perfect union. Why wouldn't anyone want to sign? The only reason they could conceivably not want to sign is just because they want to steal actors' identities. It's actually hilariously tone deaf that they see everyone else as like these mustache twirling evil people, when in reality, like the way they look to the public is that they're actually the ones who are doing evil stuff. Back on Twitter, things would continue to get very interesting, with one of the most hated VAs, Kaylee Mills, responding to Jennifer Hale, to which Jennifer Hale was responding to Mugen. And Mugen's talking about how some of the SAG-AFTRA voice actor extremists in that Discord server are trying to report his video, trying to get the video taken down. And for the record, these SAG-AFTRA bootlickers tried the same thing against me, trying to falsely report a video I made back on March 27th. You can see this email I got from YouTube about a month later, saying that this video titled "These English Voice Actors Just Destroyed Their Careers" was reported for privacy violations. Ultimately, I changed nothing in that video. I'll link it in the description for you to take a look at too if you want. Nothing's changed, and nothing happened to that video. YouTube siding with me on that one. These sort of people really think they can just abuse the system and get away with it. They don't realize how it's really just gonna backfire on them. And it shows they have no actual responses of any merit. They get reasonable criticism, they freak out, resort to trying to like falsely report people's videos. Of course, it's only gonna make things worse for them, Streisand effect and all that, and it causes people to just get the videos saved so they can re-upload them in various places, archive everything, screenshot everything. It just makes it get so much more attention even than it already was and be stored in so many other places. You guys know how it is. That sort of thing that they're trying to do, it never ends well. And so that takes us back over to Twitter once again, and Jennifer Hale, one of the most iconic VAs, and Kaylee Mills, one of the most hated VAs, having some discourse here. Once again, Jennifer Hale was responding to Mugen, talking about the extremist trying to report his video and all that, or reporting his video trying to get taken down, rather. Jennifer Hale saying transparency is good, seeming to disagree with the actions of the extremists in trying to report the video and get it taken down. Adding on to her take, saying, "Healing is most important. This has been an incredibly difficult and divisive time. There's much work to do to put our community and our industry back together." Now, I definitely want to comment on what Jennifer Hale said here, and I definitely want to read what Kaylee Mills said in response. But first, we need to see Jennifer Hale's full take, because she added on to all this with a post on her own account, where she said, "There was some deeply concerning behavior by some committee members during the strike, but SAG is still one of our strongest guardrails for good wages and working conditions. I removed the video from my timeline so as not to fan the flames and give space for the community to work this out." So presumably she had also retweeted Mugen's video, but then removed it or made some sort of tweet about it and then deleted that tweet. And then saying this: "I'm for reform and repair, not for burning the house down. It is okay to disagree in good conscience. I believe almost everyone did what they firmly believed was right. And coming together to make space for all our diverse perspectives is important for healing." And so with that context, we'll return to these tweets where she also, once again, said, "Healing is most important. This has been an incredibly difficult and divisive time. There's much work to do to put our community and our industry back together." However, we know that she does also seem to be overtly pro-SAG-AFTRA. And so I do seem to have a fundamental disagreement with her here because, I'll give her credit for being professional, and I do think she means well, but she is a VA who has been in the industry for a long time, and I say that with respect. As mentioned, iconic VA, but what she wants for the industry and what I think is best seem to be at a crossroads. I think it would be best for VAs to leave the union. She seems to want VAs to still be a part of the union, still believes in the union, that of course being SAG-AFTRA. And when she's saying healing, I would have to ask, well, who's damaged? It's not us. It's not the gamers, the players, the fandoms. We're better than ever because we're now aware of how manipulative these people are and how they were trying to just use all of us. So we're in a better spot than ever now. It's only the corrupt union and their clique that's really been damaged. So healing, nah, I'm good on that. Thank you, though. And like put our industry back together. That combined with the whole healing line makes it seem like she just wants things to return to the status quo of like, oh, the fandom should support the VAs and believe in the union and all that. And like I said, I'm just beyond all that now. Like I'm past that. I think the best path forward would be VAs not being under the boot of SAG-AFTRA and that clique. Now that takes us to the Kaylee Mills tweet here. Kaylee Mills' response to Jennifer Hale, and Kaylee Mills is very upset. You are enabling drama tubers and making people in your community feel unsafe airing their frustrations while trying to navigate a really tough situation in a private space. Oh my gosh, bro. I really hope you simply didn't understand how harmful this could be. You are hurting your community. Of course, what is being referred to as your community is like the clique. The private space, at least this is how I'm taking all this, the private space is referring to the VA Discord server where messages were leaked like we went over earlier. So it's just trying to make them all sound like victims. Oh, those toxic VAs were just trying to navigate a really tough situation in a private space, aka the Discord server, where they're insulting other VAs like Erica, bad-mouthing Erica, and trying to like falsely report videos. You guys are not the victims. You guys are the instigators. I really hope you didn't simply understand how harmful this could be. You're hurting your community. Again, to me that translates to you're hurting this toxic clique. Expectedly, people in the responses would absolutely destroy Kaylee Mills. We'll read a few of these responses. For example, at the very top, I feel more unsafe knowing your tweets and replies can show up in my feed. Hey, real quick, if you're against people hurting their community, quote unquote, why did you vouch for and double down in the defense of known and self-admitted abuser of his fans and colleagues, Chris Niosi? You guys, Karina, are literally the ones boldly making yourselves look like jerks and bullies. Then now you're trying to save face? Disgusting. I hope that one day, once the strike drama is over, you'll look back on this and understand just how many times you picked the wrong side and showed lack of respect towards your own colleagues for the sake of packing this farce of a union. Much respect to voice actors expressing their passion for the craft. Here we can see one tweeting out what they say to themselves while looking at the mirror every morning. That's true dedication right there. Ironic you're talking about people feeling unsafe like you didn't defend an abuser. And you are officially on the terrible list. You're the one harming the community by being a freaking hypocrite and a stalker. Girl, be quiet already. If anyone has been hurting your community, it's you and your clown of a bestie, Karina. Hold on, yeah, didn't Karina say that like one of her best VA friends was Kaylee Mills in the interview or something like that, if I'm recalling? We'll read this next one and then wrap it up, I suppose. You're one to talk. Your actions greatly contributed to the souring of the relationship between the Genshin fanbase and the strike, leading to people straight up requesting Karina to be replaced. How unsafe does your community feel because of the job loss you helped create? And a bunch of people also pointing out the hypocrisy of Kaylee Mills herself, as well as the hypocrisy of a Discord server of people bashing other VAs and disparaging VAs like Erica and also like falsely reporting videos and doing a bunch of malicious stuff like that. And then Kaylee Mills like complaining about safety. As usual, terrible, toxic, corrupt people being exposed and then trying to play victim after. Let me know what you guys think about these latest updates. And great job, Mujin, for getting those Discord logs. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed my coverage. Appreciate ya. I'll see you in the comments and in the next one.